Having lots of wild thoughts, wild fluctuations, wild emotions, wild intuitive ideas constantly floating through your head, wild attractions with other people, wanting to get into bed with everyone. What are we talking about? The rebuild phase. You might be going through the rebuild phase. Welcome to the greatest party on this side of the Milky Way. Okay, that's the shift. So last time we spoke about the purge phase. Now, the rebuild phase you might think is very positive and going upward kind of a thing, upward cycle, moving up. But it is quite as tricky as going through the purge phase, and let me explain why. So, in the purge phase, we talked about the lower three chakras, which are earthbound, earth based karmas, whatever you did in the past lives, everything that is going away, right? Everything in the old energy patterns on earth is getting deleted. So is your karma getting deleted. So is your old thinking and old ways of identifying with the world getting deleted. So when all these deletions keep happening, something has to replace it, right? It's like, imagine like a coffee, a cup of coffee being made in Starbucks, for example, okay? And you have the coffee decoction, and then somebody's pouring milk over it, and it's constantly you're going on pouring milk, 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 milk. What happens to the coffee finally? It eventually becomes fully milk, right? That's what we are talking about here. That's what's happening in this shift. The new frequencies which are coming in is like that milk in the coffee. It's constantly coming in, day and night. It doesn't stop. It won't stop. If you're watching this now or 20 years later, it will not stop. It will not have stopped. It is to upgrade this entire party going on this side of the Milky Way on planet Earth. Okay? So the rebuild phase, speaking quickly about it, what is the rebuild phase? How will it happen that the new will replace the old? Let's start with the lower ones, the earthbound ones, because they shift slowly. The yellow one on top, yellow oval, shift much faster. Okay. So the earthbound one is highly, you find yourself being highly energetic in the body. Very high energy levels. Okay, you feel like you can run a marathon one day. And mind you, all of this is going on parallel and along with the purge phase. So one day you are up and one day you are down. That's what this craziness is about, the shift. So one day you might find yourself highly energetic in the body, highly charged up physically. I'm talking about physical levels here. You might find different identity connection with the world. What do I mean by that? Well, you connect to people in a different way. You have a different outlook towards life, towards people, all people around you, friends, relatives, family, everyone around you, with the entire world. So your identity center, that center in the between the middle one between the two, your navel center is shifting so rapidly that your identity itself is shifting. Your ego structures what you came in with, which race, culture, family you were born in, all the ancestral karma is all gone. Now, when the ancestral karma goes, something else has to replace that ancestral karma. What is that? That's the new identity. That's what here you are here, in fact, to build. That's the goal. The goal is to create the new you, and it is being created for you rather than against you, but with you. Think about that. So, what else does it create? Different earthly creative drives, and I mean intimate connections because this is the sexual center. This chakra is survival, food, and shelter. Okay, different earthly creative drives it might create for you. Meaning you might want to create with earth in a new way. Even it might bring about creativity in terms of art, in terms of whatever your hobbies were, in terms of playing music, not just in terms of sexual creativity. Sexual center, understand it as a life-giving energy. It what creates the entire life itself. It's your Kundalini energy, folks. So when that arises, that is arising because it is more free to flow now to the upper channels. This high frequency deletes all the old systems, creating a pathway for the Kundalini to rise and flow more freely. It's a question of degrees. It's not just you snap your fingers and a person is done. That'll be very rare, 1 in a million, like Sadhguru, for example. Most of us are going through this slow and gradual upshift. You're shifting upwards as the channels and blocks are being removed one by one. You're progressing in that incremental fashion to upper chakras. Okay? So you might have different early creative drives in terms of hobbies, in terms of what you want to do as passion to create in this world. It may be cooking, it may be creating new art forms, new music, dancing, yoga, tai chi, you name it. It can go in any kind of direction you want to. That's one of the things that happens with the upshift, the rebuilding phase of the lower one. So you've got to go with these kind of impulses. Whatever drives you are having, go with this. Coming to the upper three chakras, the yellow oval, what happens there? Well, you get rapid intuitive thoughts and ideas, flash of ideas. Oh, I thought about this. Oh, I thought about that. Oh, what about this? Oh, what about that? Oh, what if I do this as a career? Oh, what if I go with this thing today? It's on a day-to-day basis. Nothing is on like 1 week even. The energy shift is so rapid now that you have got to go with the flow like that, folks. Keep up, keep up. Okay? Unrestricted expression is another thing that it brings. Unrestricted. Meaning what? The old energy systems had suppressed your throat chakra or energy so much. That's why many people are going, especially women, with thyroid issues. Why their expression was stifled. The feminine expression of how it wanted to convey things in the world, all around them, in their family, in the social circles, was suppressed to such a degree. That's why thyroid misfunctioning. Think about that. That is being liberated now. That energy is being open. You're more open to speak. You feel like speaking your voice. You feel like singing. This is a very powerful form of expression. Whatever connects the head to the rest of the body is the throat. This is Rahu, this is Ketu if you want to talk, and Vishnu connects both of them. Vishnu is the representative of this throat chakra. He wants to preserve, he wants to take care of everything. He's the bridge between Rahu and Ketu. Just drifting here, side astrology. Okay. Unrestricted expression. Give expression to whatever you feel like, and you will. These new energy recalibrations are not so much about your choice, so much in the matter, as much as do you want to make it easier on yourself or do you want to make this a whole hard trip? It's up to you. The party is going on, folks. The party, wildest party on the galaxy, is going on this planet. Do you want to take part in it? Do you want to jump in, get a free pass, come in, and have all these things being done onto you? Or do you want to push and pull? There are many people who are checking out, as you know, many people who are leaving the planet because they can't handle this kind of a wildness about this party. This is better than any drug out there. This is what we are going through. And at a planetary level, everybody is going through this stuff. So just be compassionate to other people around you, okay? If you're going through this in a more wilder sense, you got to be really taking care of the kindness, compassion part of it. Because they are doing that in their own style. Each one is doing it in their own style, in their own way, in their own time. Okay? And nobody's going anywhere anyway. If they are dying, they are going to come back in another body. It's that simple. So let's not make a big deal out of it. Next thing that will happen is you are open and available in the heart center. The heart center blockages, once they are released, removed with the high frequencies coming in, what does it happen? The heart was always there. Everybody always has had a heart. It's just that people build walls around it. People build defensive mechanisms. People feel more protective towards, like, I should be careful of this person, and this person, or go here, there. I want to stay away from these kind of damaged folks or these kind of, twisted people or whatever you want to call it. So heart has become very, very guarded in its approach to handling everything around it. Now the walls are being removed. High frequencies are coming in. When these walls around your heart are being removed, as they are being removed, you start to feel more and more open and connected with life. That boundary wall between you and the rest of it, everything included, including rocks, trees, birds, animals, plants, Not just human beings, everything around you. Your heart becomes open to everything. And this wild, free floating, free expansive energy, which is always out there, is now becoming available to you. You are being available to it. It has always been there. Don't mistake this. It has always been there. You are now being more available, more open, more freely absorbing this whole thing. Okay? So that's what happens with the open heart connection. This is the rebuild phase. Mind you, this will go on one day and the purge phase will go on next day. This will go on for a couple of hours, that will go on for a couple of hours. That's the wildest portion of this shift. That's the wild nature of this shift. It is not predictable. You can't even predict it for yourself, let alone others. There's no one rule, one mechanism, one formula, one anything that anybody can predict. But everything is being done at a pace that is good for you. And it will become easier for you if you learn to flow with this. That's my best advice to you today. Just learn to flow with it. Don't resist the rebuild phase. Don't resist the purge phase either. Alright, folks, that's it for me for now. I'll be back with more stuff on other aspects of the shift. Take care, be safe.